Hello. Hey, peoples. Yeah, let's jump to the screen. Oh no, there's music on the screen now too. I forgot about that. Oh no! Well, I mean, I'm assuming you can hear me over the music. Welcome guys to Renpy tutorial part 5. About a month after the fact, where we left part 4. I mean, first off, we did not mean to take such a long break from doing Renpy. It just kind of happened after the last one. Like, I got sick a couple times, and then we had like the streams that we had scheduled, like the construction snakes stream last month, and then the puppo the beginning of this month, and then afterwards, pretty much any day I was free, Jay wasn't, and vice versa. So we were gonna do this like properly at 5 tonight. What time is it now? Like 1? Yeah, like 1. So I do apologize for this being so like abrupt. But basically, we were like getting down to business today. It's a holiday here, so we had no other work to do. So we woke up early, 6 a.m. mind you, and I mean, Jay went through a bunch of the old designs. Actually, really quick, I am tired and I'm thirsty. Jay didn't get me a drink when they got themselves a drink. Wait, here's some pop ASMR. At some point, I'm gonna put all these together for you in like one big ASMR playlist, but bubble, 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 bubble. Anyway, so oh, wait, more ASMR. Don't even know if that got picked up or not. Find out later. Anyway. Woke up at 6 a.m. Jay went through a bunch of their old designs and like fixed them up. We were having an issue with the postcards with a couple of the drawings, and we had to like figure out what was causing that. And then Jay had to go and fix each picture individually, and then each time they fixed a picture, Redbubble would like F it up on the products, so then they had to go in and readjust it on every single individual product as well. So that took about 2.5 hours this morning of just trial and error and fixing. And then Jay kind of has like, see, I hate doing this when I'm tired because I can't think of the words that I want to use whenever I do this when I'm tired. Can you think of what the hell I'm trying to say? Do you even know the train of thought I'm on right now? Oh, so Jay's being a little ambitious for next month. They thought of an original design for the next in the mythology series, but then they realized that it wasn't like weird enough. Didn't have a twist. It wasn't M. Night Shyamalan. But they liked the design that they drew. So they're being difficult. So they're trying to get 2 designs out for you guys for next month. So because of that, after we got the Redbubble all kind of nice and neat and tucked away this morning, Jay went on to start drawing for next month. And then James and I sat down and did some more of like the YouTube clips. Found some more clippies to like make their own videos. Writing down timestamps and stuff. Going through making sure the videos are good. Learning how to do it myself in case something ever happens to James, etc. In the meantime, and then that took like another hour and a half or so. And then we were all tired, so we're like, let's take a nap. And then we went to take an hour-long nap, and then half an hour later, we were finding out that the program we use to stream is being shut down. So there's like a message in the program that says they'll be discontinuing support. We've prepared a guide with tips on how to find and switch over to a broadcasting software that works for you. This broadcasting software worked for me. This software worked for all of us. I'm old. I just want a simple, like, click the button and it's streaming and it's hopefully working. And, like, yeah, it glitches sometimes, but it glitches because Twitch hasn't been supporting it because they've been planning on shutting it down. And they don't feel like giving resources to it, which is stupid. So now we have to switch to OBS. And everybody's like, oh, congratulations. OBS has so much more features. It's great. Oh, by the way, I'm eating while I'm doing this. I hadn't had breakfast yet. Forgive me. I've been up for 7 hours now without eating. I know a lot of people like OBS. We are aware a lot of people like OBS. We tried it at the beginning, and we felt it was overly and unnecessarily complicated for what we wanted it for. So we chose to use Studio. Yeah, now the dog's being crap. Nika, it's not the time. Anyway, we found OBS to be unnecessarily complicated to use. We didn't need all of the features that it can have. And most importantly, it's not, again, words not coming to my head. The people who code it don't code it efficiently, so it strains your PC more than necessary to do the task that's required of it. Which is why, in the end, we went with Studio. So now we're in a predicament. Because the three of us, and anyone who's even close to us who would maybe help out in a time of need, have a very busy week ahead of ourselves. In which we all have a wedding coming up this weekend. For those of you wondering, I do still have the schedule up right now. It is still our dev stream weekend this weekend. So, Saturday, May 25th, 8 p.m. MST, at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing the Attack on Hex Island dev stream with the devs No, my medicine's yelling at me. So yeah, so that will be with the devs. Drums 107 will be here. We've scheduled that with them. I don't know if their dev partner will be here or not, but it feels like they pop in usually for the bigger Attack on Hex Island plays, so they might be here too. Who knows? Point being, that dev stream is happening, and it is happening at 8 p.m. Saturday night. Also, the Construction Snake community fan game made by Curtis Mutter, that will be happening Sunday night. Sunday, May 26th, 8 p.m. MST. Again, that's 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. That time worked well for us last month, despite it not being the original time we had scheduled it at. So that's what we're going with. Yeah. Again, playing the updated. Both of Attack on Hex Island just got an update on Steam itself. And Construction Snake, according to Curtis Mutter, the demo has been updated with a lot of the suggestions that he received the last time he was here with us. So both of these streams are going to be updated versions of the games from the last time we've done this. The devs will be here, again, addressing any concerns, questions, comments that you guys have. And that is still happening this weekend, which is why this OBS thing is such a problem. After this weekend, I'm supposed to hibernate until our puppo on June 1st. But we can't do the puppo if we don't have a streaming program properly set up. And since we have to do it on my PC, James won't have access to it that week, so he can't set it up for me while I'm asleep. So that means that this week, before the weekend, we have to get this done. We have to figure it out. We have to get it all set up. We have to have it running smoothly. And it needs to be done by basically Friday night, because we will be gone all day Saturday up until like 7:30 p.m. We will probably, we're all coming back to my place that night. So Curtis Mutter might be here to play Attack on Hex Island with us. He's also going to this wedding. We have a very small knit network of people, despite how large our city size is. So everybody's crashing at my place that weekend. So we're going to this wedding, and then we're coming back here. Curtis Mutter might even pop on stream. We'll probably have food, like McDonald's or something. Not a sponsor. And we'll hop on, we'll play Attack on Hex Island for drums. With drums, answer questions, yada yada. And then Sunday we have to do the same thing. We have to wake up early, go to this wedding, day 2, come back by 7:30, and do the Construction Snake stream with Curtis Mutter. And then everybody goes home, I go to sleep, wake up for June 1st. So, it is very much an issue that this is happening all of a sudden. We have about a week to figure out OBS and get it running in a way that doesn't make us angry. Sorry. I made chicken teriyaki the other night. That's my breakfast now. Leftover chicken teriyaki. But there's bits of a spice in it that I don't remember adding. It definitely wasn't in the rice or the veggies. When did this get added? Is this in the teriyaki sauce? That'd be weird. Hmm. I don't know, there's like little seeds. Maybe it is from the teriyaki sauce. Confusing me. Anyway. The plan today, now that I've talked for 20 minutes, basically, is we're gonna do more of the Renpy tutorial, because it's been forever, and we really want to get started on that game. Jay's been chomping at the bit. I've been getting sent character sketches at 3 and 4 in the morning. So we want to get started on like the game itself, which means we have to finish the tutorial. And I mean, thank God today's a holiday, so we can sit down and do this for a bit. Go for maybe like an hour, I think, starting now. The stream will be like an hour and a half long-ish. And then we will start on all this OBS nightmare. So, I mean, it's right on the screen, our upcoming events. The dev stream weekend is this upcoming weekend. The weekend after that will be the Play Until Passing Out Minecraft Part 2. We are saying the next stream is tomorrow. We don't know what time yet. Again, because we're kind of running with our heads cut off right now. Trying to figure out how to fix all this. So, you know, check our Twitter, check our X for updates on what time we'll be streaming tomorrow. We might be back later tonight if we get some of the other stuff working and running. We might like test it out tonight, or I might just do a Minecraft to for like 45 minutes to decompress the rage that is building. All right, so we'll hop over here again. For those who did not watch parts 1 through 4, or who did, but you know, it was a month ago and you don't remember, because why would you? Because it's been a freaking month. This is Renpy. This is what we will be using to make our game, our visual novel, dating game, dating sim, however you want to classify what our game ends up being. Free to use, free to exploit, basically. Any game that you make with it, you can sell with no rights issues, etc., etc. Basically just makes it easier to use Python code to make this type of game. You can download this program at renpy.org. That's renpy.org. And give it a try yourself. You'd probably run through the tutorial quicker than we are. Anyway, so we will once again start Renpy back up. It's like going home. And we are still on the tutorial, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Okay, so since last we were here, we ended on transform properties. So any of this tutorial that you want to see, you'll have to watch parts 1 through 4. I'm going to make a note right now while I'm thinking of it that we should probably add in the descriptions which parts of the tutorial are in which video. I swear, we're we're growing with this, guys. We are growing, and while we grow, we're making things prettier as we go along. So eventually, one day, we can laugh at how horrendous our first, 17 streams were. Anyway. So that means we are on the GUI customization tutorial, which means we only have 5 left. And 6. And depending on how long they are, who knows? Maybe 70 minutes will be enough. So, when you create a new project, Renpy will automatically create a GUI, a graphical user interface, for it. It defines the look of both in-game interface, like this text box, and out-of-game interface, like the main and game menus. The default GUI is meant to be nice enough for a simple project. With a few small changes, it's what you're seeing in this game. The GUI is also meant to be easy for an intermediate creator to customize. Customizing the GUI consists of changing the image files in the GUI directory and changing variables in GUI.rpy. At the same time, even when customized, the default GUI might be too recognizable for an extremely polished game. That's why we've made it easy to totally replace. We've put an extensive guide to customizing the GUI on the Renpy website, so if you want to learn more, visit the GUI customization guide. Great. All right. Well, that feels like that's going to be something that we end up coming back to, I would say, because I do believe Jay has a very specific vision, and I believe it's one that's going to be annoyingly highly customized. I mean, should we even read through that on stream at some point? All right. Well, okay, this is what we'll do. We'll give that a look. And then we'll decide after we read through it whether or not it should be included in the stream or not. We'll see. Styles and style properties. Renpy has a powerful style system that controls what displayables look like. While the default GUI uses variables to provide styles with sensible defaults, if you're replacing the GUI or creating your own screens, you'll need to learn about styles yourself. Oh my god, what would you like to know about styles? Style basics. Styles let a displayable look different from game to game or even inside the same game. Oh god. Sorry. Choking on my breakfast. Anyway. Both of these buttons use the same displayables, but since different styles have been applied, the buttons look different from each other. Styles are a combination of information from 4 different places. The first place Renpy can get style information from is part of a screen. Each displayable created by a screen can take a style name and style properties. When a screen displayable contains text, style properties prefixed with text underscore apply to that text. The next is as part of a displayable created in an image statement. Style properties are just arguments to the displayable. Style properties can also be given as arguments when defining a character. Arguments beginning with who underscore are. Style properties applied to... that's not how you read that. Arguments beginning with who underscore are style properties applied to the character's name, while those beginning with what underscore are applied to the character's dialogue. Style properties that don't have a prefix are also applied to the character's name. Finally, there is the the style statement, which creates or changes a named style. By giving text the style argument, we tell it to use the blue underscore text style. This text is colored blue. It's blue. How bloody brilliant. A style property can inherit from a parent. If a style property is not given in a style, it comes from the parent of that style. By default, the parent of the style has the same name, with the prefix up to the what? Who wrote this where they kept repeating the word the? By default, the parent of the style has the same name, with the prefix up to the first underscore removed. If the style does not have an underscore in its name, default is used. For example, blue underscore text inherits from text, which in turn inherits from default. The default style defines all properties, so it doesn't inherit from anything. The parent can be explicitly changed by giving the style statement an is clause. In this case, we're explicitly setting the style to the parent of text. Blue text is text. Each displayable has a default style name. By default, it's usually the lowercase displayable name, like text for text or button for button. In a screen, a displayable can be given in the style prefix property to give a prefix for that displayable and its children. For example, a text displayable with a style prefix of help will be given the style help underscore text. Lastly, when a displayable is a button or inside a button, it can take style prefixes. The prefixes idle underscore, hover underscore, and insensitive underscore are used when the button is unfocused, focused, and unfocusable. These can be preceded by selected underscore to change how the button looks when it represents a selected value or screen. This screen shows the style prefixes in action. You can click on a button to select it, or click outside to advance. Okay, so you can make them like brighter when you hover or whatever. Oh god. I didn't click outside the thing. Did you click outside the thing? I'm aware there's one mouse, I'm just saying. Those are the basics of styles. If GUI customization isn't enough for you, styles let you customize just about everything in Renpy. General style properties. The first group of style properties that we'll go over are the general style properties. These work with every displayable, or at least many different ones. I like how they're like every, but well, not really. I own one of every Porsche. Oh, well, no, not really, just -7. The first group of style properties that we'll go over are the general style properties. These work with it. I already read that. Next. Every displayable takes the position properties, which control where it can be placed on screen. Since I've already mentioned them, I won't repeat them here. The X maximum and Y maximum properties set the maximum width and height of the displayable, respectively. This will cause Renpy to shrink things if possible. Sometimes the shrunken size will be smaller than the size given by X maximum and Y maximum. Similarly, the X minimum and Y minimum properties set the minimum width and height. If the displayable is smaller, Renpy will try to make it bigger. The X size and Y size properties set the minimum and maximum size to the same value, fixing the size. These only work for displayables that can be resized. Some displayables, like images, can't be made bigger or smaller. The area property takes a tuple, a parenthesis bounded list of 4 items. The first 2 give the position, and the second 2 the size. Finally, the alt property changes the text used by self-voicing for the hearing impaired. Sure. Textile properties. The textile properties apply to text and input displayables. Text displayables can be created implicitly or explicitly. For example, a text button creates a text displayable with a style ending in button_text. These can be set in GUI.RPY by changing or defining variables with names like GUI.button_text_size. The bold style property makes the text bold. This can be done using an algorithm rather than a different version of the font. The color property changes the color of the text. It takes hex color codes just like everything else in Renpy. The first indent style property determines how far the first line is indented. The font style property changes the font the text uses. Renpy takes true type and open type fonts, and you'll have to include the font file as part of your visual novel. The size property changes the size of the text. The italic property makes the text italic. Again, this is better done with a font, but for short amounts of text, Renpy can do it for you. The justify property makes the text justified, lining all but the last line up on the left and the right side. The kerning property kerns the text. When it's negative, characters are closer together. When positive, characters are farther apart. The line leading and line spacing properties put spacing before each line and between lines, respectively. The outlines property puts outlines around text. This takes a list of tuples, which is a bit complicated. I'm not gonna explain that. But if you ignore the brackets and parentheses, you have the width of the outline, the color, and then the horizontal and vertical offsets. The rest indent property controls the indentation of lines after the first one. The text align property controls the positioning of multiple lines of text inside the text displayable. For example, 0.5 means centered. Ow. It doesn't change the position of the text displayable itself. For that, you'll often want to set the text align and X align to the same value. When both text align and X align are set to 1, the text is properly right justified. The underline property underlines the text. Those are the most common text style properties, but not the only ones. Here are a few more you might need in special circumstances. By default, text in Renpy is anti-aliased to smooth the edges. The anti-alias property can turn that off and make the text a little more jagged. Do you have like old-timey things you want to write? The adjust spacing property is a very subtle one that only matters when a player resizes the window. When true, characters will be shifted a bit so the text has the same relative spacing. I mean, that feels like something that you need to include on everything then. Because you're going to let people resize it, right? When false, the text won't jump around as much, but it can be a little wider or narrower based on screen size. The layout property has a few special values that control where lines are broken. The no break value disables line breaks entirely, making the text wider. When the layout property is set to subtitle, the line breaking algorithm is changed to try to make all lines even in length, as subtitles usually are. The strike through property draws a line through the text. It seems pretty unlikely you'd want to use this one. The vertical style property places text in a vertical layout. It's meant for Asian languages with special fonts. I love how, they're, including all these features, and they're like, but you would never use that. By the way, you can do this, but why are we even telling you about it? Nobody uses that. Like, why could they... They couldn't think of one reason to use strike through? It's strike through. People use strike through. In games? Yes, they do. Don't tell me that you didn't plan on using that, because I know you, and you definitely did. Can't pull this shit on me! Hey, drums! Strike through when there's a discount, obviously. No, it's when the character says something that they weren't supposed to say, so that the main character wasn't supposed to hear it. So then the strike through goes through it, and then the main character's like, wait, what was that? And then they're like, nothing. What you talking about? I didn't say anything. I mean, that's obviously what strike through's for. And those are the textile properties. There might be a lot of them, but we want to give you a lot of control over how you present text to your players. But we can't possibly see you using any of them. We're just giving them to you anyway. Window and button style properties! Pew pew! Next up, we have the window and button style properties. These apply to windows like the text window at the bottom of the screen, and frames like the ones we show examples in. Pew pew! These properties also apply to buttons, in-game and out-of-game. To Renpy, a button is a window you can click. Oh god, that's ugly. I'll start off with this style, which everything will inherit from. To make our lives easier, it inherits from the default style rather than the customized buttons in this game's GUI. The first style property is the background property. It adds a background to a button or window. Since this is a button, idle and hover variants choose different backgrounds when focused. I mean, barely. Oh my god. That is not made for people with eyes as bad as mine. Can you tell the difference between that when you do that? Barely, right? It's not just me. Like, that's insane. People with these freaking immaculate eyes coding this shit. Look, okay, drums, can you tell the difference? The color is so close that you can't tell that that's doing something. You can see it, yes. Fine. You know what? Take your perfect eyes and get out of here. But it's not good for a tutorial. It's just, it literally just kind of looks like I looked at the light a little too long. So, like, some of what I'm looking at now is brighter and some of it's darker than it's supposed to be. Like, that's how minuscule of a change this looks like. It's way too close to the original color. Like, holy crap. Change it to, like, lime green or something. Like, change it to something that freaking shows up. We also center the two buttons using the X align position property. We've also customized the style of the button's text. Using this style, it centers the text and makes it change color when hovered. Oh, God. The text is changing color too. I didn't even notice that. That's how bad it is. You know, black to navy. The easiest two colors to tell the difference between. That's what we'll do for our tutorial, right? That's perfect. Ah. Could you tell it was the text turning color? I'm not the only one, right? All right. Ah. Without any padding around the text, the button looks odd. Renpy has padding properties that add space inside the button's background. Yeah, because that doesn't look stupid. The button looks odd. If we don't do this, let's just fuck it up more. Hang on a second, I'm getting a Twinkie. Whee! These were mostly around for the June Puppo, but I'm having one anyway because it's been one of those days. And you can't tell me no, because I'm the one who paid for them. Ah! I don't know, do people like ASMR of like plastic wrap? Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, I can't really do ASMR of like... Oh, hang on. Nope, that won't do it either. Me like... Oh, wait, I have the... Oh, shit. I have the desktop audio turned off. Whoops. So nobody can hear Renpy music right now. Alright. That's fine. Anyway, ASMR for the YouTube watchers later. Oh my god. Why can't I get my Twinkie open? There we go. I've just been hearing your circus track. Yeah, so drums, it's playing for us because you're watching the live stream, but like people watching this on YouTube later, there's gonna be no music. So I forgot to turn the desktop sound back on for VODs. That's my bad. I mean, it's kind of too late now. We've been going for 45 minutes. Oh, hello, puppers. What's going on? Why do you look guilty? What have you done? Do I need to be concerned? Just looking mighty guilty of something. Did you see her do anything? No? What? Alright. I feel a little better now that I have Twinkie. Continuing. I said continuing. There we go. More commonly used are the X padding and Y padding style properties, which add the same padding to the left and right, or the top and bottom, respectively. Can you, like, grab her? Why is she being so bad? Oh, she disappeared again. I mean, I guess she's still technically sick, but, like, she's been very misbehaving today. Maybe she feels the fact that everyone in the room is pissed. The margin style properties work the same way, except they add space outside the background. The full set exists: left margin, right margin, top margin, bottom margin, X margin, and Y margin. What does it mean by they add space outside the background? As in, like, why would you want that? The size group style property takes a string. Renpy will make sure that all the windows or buttons with the same size group string are the same size. That's a good one. That's a necessary one. Alternatively, the X-fill and Y-fill style properties make a button take up all available space in the horizontal or vertical directions. Yeah. Oh, Chronic knows I have OCD. The buttons all must be the same size, with the same spacing, and the same padding. Must. Otherwise, they are not allowed in our game. The foreground property gives a displayable that is placed on top of the contents and background of the window or button. That's cool. Bet you could use that. Pew, 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 pew. One way to use it is to provide extra decorations to a button that's serving as a checkbox. Another would be to use it with a frame to provide a glossy shine that overlays the button's contents. There are also a few style properties that only apply to buttons. The hover sound and activate sound properties play sound files when a button is focused and activated respectively. I had too much fun with that. I'm sorry, drums. I liked it. Beep. Although now they make the same noise. Oh no, they already did. Yeah. Alright, I'm done. Continue. Finally, the focus mask property applies to partially transparent buttons. When it's set to true, only areas of the button that aren't transparent cause a button to focus. What? Only areas of the button that aren't transparent cause a... Are parts of these buttons not transparent? I'm very confused. That didn't seem to do, like, anything, so I don't know what it's trying to tell me with that. Like, it's not a square anymore. Yeah, but it was still working like a square. I was clicking empty spaces and it was still selecting the button. So, yeah. Tutorial's not great. I'm hoping after the tutorial there's like a quote unquote game that's also supposed that they made and included that's supposed to like also walk you through all this. So, I mean, my hope is that's better. I think Jay's more relying on self-study after hours. Between the two of us, we should be able to figure it out, I would think. Bar style properties. Oh, there's a little health bar. Woo! To demonstrate styles, let me first show two of the images we'll be using. This is the image we're using for parts of the bar that are empty. And here's what we use for parts of the bar that are full. The left bar and right bar style properties and their hover variants give displayables for the left and right side of the bar. By default, the value is shown on the left. So are they just stretching the one picture across? Also, by default, both the left and right displayables are rendered at the full width of the bar and then cropped to the appropriate size. Well, I guess not stretching. Cropping. Same difference. Kind of. We give the bar the Y size property to set how tall it is. We could also give it the X size to choose how wide, but here it's limited by the width of the frame it's in. Want to hand her to me? Getting sick of your shit, dog. You're gonna lay on my lap, and you're gonna be quiet and say hello to everybody. Yeah. Hello. Yes, the camera's not on, but you can still say hi. Hello. No? Now you don't want to bark? God. Boop. When the bar invert style property is true, the bar value is displayed on the right side of the bar. The left bar and right bar displayables might also need to be swapped. The bar resizing style property causes the bar images to be resized to represent the value rather than being rendered at full size and cropped. The thumb style property gives a thumb image that's placed based on the bar's value. In the case of a scroll bar, it's resized if possible. Whee! Whee! Do you have any use for this? I mean, I'm having fun with it, but you didn't have like mini games planned. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I'll think on it. Maybe I can think of something you can use it for. Here we use it with the base bar style property, which sets both bar images to the same displayable. The left gutter and right gutter properties set a gutter on the left or right sides of the bar. The gutter is space the bar can't be dragged into. That can be used for borders. The bar vertical style property displays a vertically oriented bar. All of the other property changes names. Left bar becomes top bar, while right bar becomes bottom bar. Shouldn't right be top? Just based on... It feels like they coded that backwards. Finally, there's one style we can't show here, and it's unscrollable. It controls what happens when the scroll bar can't be moved at all. By default, it's shown, but if unscrollable is insensitive, the bar becomes insensitive. If it's hide, the bar is hidden, but still takes up space. That's it for the bar properties. By using them, a creator can customize bars, scroll bars, and sliders. Box grid and fixed style properties. The HBox displayable is used to lay its children out horizontally. By default, there's no spacing between children, so they run together. Similarly, the VBox displayable is used to lay its children out vertically. Both support style properties that control placement. Isn't it supposed to be showing me code right now? You understand what it's talking about? Okay. Yeah, this tutorial has gone downhill the longer we've played it. It feels like we're gonna need like a lot more like self-study or like just watching people like just code from Python, just straight Python more to figure out what the hell we're doing. I think Humble Bundle has like coding with Python on sale this month. Maybe we'll buy that too. We just want to make a dating sim. Just want to make a hilarious, hilarious dating sim. To make the size of the box displayable obvious, I'll add a highlight to the box itself and not the frame containing it. Boxes support the xfill and yfill style properties. The properties make a box expand to fill the available space rather than the space of the largest child. The spacing style property takes a value in pixels and adds that much spacing between each child of the box. First spacing style property is similar, but it only adds space between the first and second children. This is useful when the first child is a title that needs different spacing. The box reverse style property reverses the order of entries in the box. We'll switch back to a horizontal box for our next example. The box wrap style property fills the box with children until it's full, then starts again on the next line. Grids bring with them two more style properties. The X spacing and Y spacing properties control spacing in the horizontal and vertical directions, respectively. Lastly, we have the fixed layout. Fixed layout usually expands to fill all space and shows its children from back to front. But of course, we have some style properties that can change that. When the XFit style property is true, the fixed lays out all its children as if it was full size and then shrinks in width to fit them. The YFit style works the same way, but in height. The order reverse style property changes the order in which the children are shown. Instead of back to front, they're displayed front to back. Okay. Displayable inspector. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what style is being used for a particular displayable. The displayable inspector can help with that. To use it, place the mouse over a portion of the Renpy user interface and hit Shift plus I. That's I for inspector. Renpy will pop up a list of displayables the mouse is over. Next to each is the name of the style that displayable uses. You can click on the name of the style to see where it gets its properties from. By default, the inspector only shows interface elements like screens and not images. Type Shift-Alt-I if you'd like to see images as well. You can try the inspector right now by hovering this text and hitting Shift-I. Shift-I! Woo! Fun stuff. Oh, it stays there if I let go of the buttons. Okay, cool. Oh my god. This is getting, like, way more complicated than it was supposed to be. That's all I want to know about. What were we on? Styles and style properties. All right, screen basics. Screens are the most powerful part of Renpy. Screens let you customize the out-of-game interface and create new in-game interface components. What would you like to know about screens? What can screens do? Screens are how we create the user interface in Renpy. With the exception of images and transitions, everything you see comes from a screen. When I'm speaking to you, I'm using the Say screen. It's responsible for typing dialogue and presenting it to the player. And when the menu statement displays an in-game choice, the choice screen is used. Got it? I do. Text input uses the input screen, NVL mode uses the NVL screen, and so on. More than one screen can be displayed at once. For example, the buttons at the bottom, back, history, skip, and so on, are all displayed by a quick menu screen that's shown all of the time. There are a lot of special screens like main menu, load save, and preferences. Rather than list them all here, I'll send you to the documentation. I love how their tutorial is just a bunch of like links to their website, to like text on their website that tells you what to do instead. I feel like our coding streams for this are gonna be like 4 hours of like you change a value by 1 and then we see what it does, and then you change it by 1 again, like, because that's how I used to like learn coding when I was 12. I feel like we're gonna be doing that. A lot of just getting the base code and then changing one value by a little bit to see what happens until it looks decent. In a newly created project, all these screens live in screens.rpy. You can edit that file in order to change them. You aren't limited to these screens either. In Renpy, you can make your own screens and use them for your game's interface. For example, in an RPG-like visual novel, A screen can display the player's statistics. Which reminds me, I should probably heal you. Complex screens can be the basis of a whole game's mechanics. A stat screen like this can be the basis of dating and life sims. Hmm. I mean, we're not doing like a dating sim to like this level. We're doing like a dating visual novel, I guess. How would you call like we need to figure out what we're calling this. A romance kind of themed visual novel? Fucking who knows. Ew. While screens might be complex, they're really just the result of a lot of simple parts working together to make something larger than all of them. How to show screens. Here's an example of a very simple screen. The screen statement is used to tell Renpy that this is a screen and its name is Simple Screen. Inside the screen statement, lines introduces displayables such as frame, VBox text, and text button, or properties like action, X-align, and Y position. I'll work from the inside out to describe the statements, but first I'll show you the screen so you can see it in action. The text statement is used to display the text provided. The text button statement introduces a button that can be clicked. When the button is clicked, the provided action is run. Both are inside a VBox, which means vertical box statement that places the text on top of the button. And that is inside a frame that provides the background and borders. The frame has an at property that takes a transform given its position. There are a trio of statements that are used to display screens. The first is the show screen statement, which displays a screen and lets Renpy keep going. The screen will stay shown until it's hidden. Hiding a screen is done with the hide screen statement. The call screen statement stops Renpy from executing script until the screen either returns a value or jumps the script somewhere else. Since we can't display a dialogue at the same time, you'll have to click OK to continue. Okay. When a call screen statement ends, the screen is automatically hidden. Generally, you use show screen to show overlays that are up all the time, and call screen to show screens that players interact with for a little while. Passing parameters to screens. Here's an example of a screen that takes 3 parameters. The message parameter is a message to show, while the OK and cancel actions are run when the appropriate button is chosen. While the message parameter always has to be supplied, the OK and cancel parameter have default values that are used if no argument is given. Each parameter is a variable that is defined inside the screen. Inside the screen, these variables take priority over those used in the rest of Renpy. When a screen is shown, arguments can be supplied for each of the parameters. Arguments can be given by position or by name. Parameters let us change what a screen displays simply by re-showing it with different arguments. The call screen statement can also take arguments, much like the show screen does. Click either button to continue. Okay. Screen properties. Great. There are a few properties that can be applied to a screen itself. When the modal property is true, you can't interact with things beneath the screen. You'll have to click to close this screen before you can continue. When a screen has the tag property, it's treated like the tag part of an image name. Here I'm showing a tag screen. When I show B tag screen, it replaces a tag screen. This is useful in the game and main menus where you want the load screen to replace the preferences screen. By default, all those screens have tag menu. For some reason, tag takes a name and not an expression. It's too late to change it. The Zorder property controls the order in which screens overlap each other. The larger the Zorder number, the closer the screen is to the player. By default, a screen has an Zorder of 0. When two screens have the same Zorder number, the screen that is shown second is closer to the player. The variant property selects a screen based on the properties of the device it's running on. In this example, the first screen will be used for small devices like telephones, and the other screen will be used for tablets and computers. Finally, the style prefix property specifies a prefix that's applied to the styles on the screen. When the red prefix is given, the frame gets the red frame style, and the text gets the red text style. This can save a lot of typing when styling screens with many displayables in them. Special screen statement. The screen language has a few statements that do things other than show displayables. If you haven't seen the section on screen displayables yet, you might want to check it out, then come back here. The Python statement works just about the same way it does in the script. A single line of Python is introduced with the $sign. This line is run each time the screen updates. Similarly, the Python statement introduces an indented block of Python statements, but there is one big difference in Python in screens and Python in scripts. The Python you use in screens isn't allowed to have side effects. That means that it can't do things like change the value of a variable. The reason for this is that Renpy will run a screen and the Python in it during screen prediction. The default statement lets you set the value of a screen variable the first time the screen runs. This value can be changed with the set screen variable and toggle screen variable actions. The default statement differs from the Python statement in that it is only run once. Python runs each time the screen updates, and hence the variable would never change value. The if statement works like it does in script, running one block if the condition is true and another if the condition is false. The for statement takes a list of values and iterates through them, running the block inside the for loop with the variable bound to each list item. The on and key statements probably only make sense at the top level of the screen. The on statement makes the screen run an action when an event occurs. The show event happens when the screen is first shown, and the hide event happens when it is hidden. The key event runs an event when a key is pressed. Using other screens. Pew pew. Do you want to end after screens? Get started on OBS? The screen language use statement lets you include a screen inside another. This can be useful to prevent duplication inside screens. Take, for example, this screen, which shows two stat entries. There's already a lot of duplication there, and if we had more stats, there would be more. Here, we move the statements that show the text and bar into a second screen, and the use statement includes that screen in the first one. The name and amount of the stat are passed in as arguments to the screen, just as is done in the call screen statement. By doing it this way, we control the amount of duplication and can change the stat in one place. The transclude statement goes one step further by letting the use statement take a block of screen language statements. When the included screen reaches the transclude statement, it is replaced with the block from the use statement. The boilerplate screen is included in the first one, and the text from the first screen is transcluded into the boilerplate screen. Use and transclude are complex, but very powerful. If you think about it, use boilerplate is only one step removed from writing your own screen language statement. All right, well, that's it. That was screen displayables, right? So we have mini games and CDDs and translations left. But we're going to end that there for now. Pew, 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 pew. All right, so as previously stated, I mean, we ended up ending this a little bit early, but I don't think we had enough time to do the other 2 tutorials the way that that was going. Right. So, as previously stated, this week sucks, guys. It sucks. It really does. We have to now download OBS and learn how to use it properly and get it all set up and nice and tidy and ready for our streams this weekend. We will try to continue to stream throughout the week while we do that. And like we're still trying to keep on top of like your drawing next month's picture already. James and I have been trying to put more stuff on the YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube. Oh no, that has noise. We'll wait on that. So yeah. James and I are busy with the YouTube. Jay's busy drawing the next design, the next couple designs, I guess, for next month. But on top of that, we're all gonna have to learn how to fuck with OBS, and get that up and running by the end of the week. So there will be other streams this week for sure. We still don't have the schedule for tomorrow, do we? Hopefully we can finish the Renpy tutorial tomorrow so that we can say that we accomplished something this week. Because you work tomorrow, but that might change. Yeah. All right. So we'll be back tomorrow, but we don't know what time yet. If you follow us on Twitter or Facebook, let's say the Twitter. If you follow us on Twitter, we will update when we know what time we'll be streaming tomorrow. I might be on later tonight to either do a Minecraft cleanup to like de-stress, or maybe another insurmountable just chatting. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna need it. I've already been awake 8 hours. So I might be on again in another like 4 or 5 to play something for a bit as like a video. And yeah, outside of that, we're going to be working on the new interface all week and getting it up and running. So our ad schedule. Whew. This is it. Next stream might technically be tonight, but that would be just chatting. Tomorrow we're hoping to get to Renpy, but we don't know the time yet. You'll have to follow us on Twitter to get those updates more consistently, because we basically never know until a little bit beforehand anyway. Come hell or high water, we are doing our dev stream this weekend. We might be using this program still. Like, we still might be using Twitch Studio if we don't have OBS up and running. I mean, we're fucked if we don't have OBS up and running. But if we don't, we'll still do the streams. It'll just be on Twitch Studio. So Saturday, May 25th, 8 p.m. MST, that is 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. That will be our Attack on Hex Island dev stream with Drums 107, who's always popping into our chat. Love having you here. Curtis Mutter will be here that day, so maybe he'll hop into that too. Who knows? Attack on Hex Island has gotten an update on Steam since we played it last, so there will be updates to show off, and we will try to get farther into the Not for Funsy profile that we had made. Sunday, May 26th, same time, 8 p.m. MST, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. That will be the community fan game Construction Snake demo with Curtis Mutter. That has also been updated with suggestions that you guys gave him last time. He will be here in person to play with us. Other than that, I don't know what else we'll be doing this weekend. There might be some just chattings, but there might not, because that's going to be, I think, fully dependent on how far into OBS we are. The Play Until Passing Out Minecraft Part 2, that's coming up June 1st. Not this weekend, but the one after. That one will be starting at noon, because June 1st is a Saturday. How lucky are we? So that'll be 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. I mean, unfortunately, I keep getting sick. And that was our big problem the first time we tried it, was that I was unknowingly sick while we were playing. And I had to, like, take antibiotics and stuff and get better. But then the dog got sick with something contagious for humans. And we're still waiting on the results on whether any of us caught it from the dog. So I could very well be sick again. So that should be fun. Hopefully I will be healthy this time and we can go longer than 36 hours. I was very disappointed in our performance the first show, although everyone else seemed impressed. I don't understand why. 36 hours is nothing, you guys. I even loaded up on anti-nauseant, so we are playing Minecraft. I will get that server done at some point. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to do in it. I effed up the towers the first go because I completely forgot how I used to do them. So the towers have to get basically torn down and rebuilt. We have to do all of the landscaping. I've been hammering away at that. Even when I'm not doing just chatting streams of it, I am hopping into the Minecraft server for like 45 minutes at a time up until I get motion sick and trying to flatten out that stupid space so that we can just go in, put the landscaping down. But yeah, that will start on June 1st. So, in the meantime, like, follow, subscribe, share, retweet. I don't care what. Do things. Like, go to our YouTube, guys. All of our old videos are up on our YouTube. We've been trying to clip stuff together to, like, I don't know, make them more shareable, I guess. The instant gratification media, I guess. Who knows? Go to our YouTube, like all our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Twitch account, follow our Twitter, like our Facebook, follow our Instagram. I think you can follow our Redbubble. I think you can follow our coffee. I don't know. Go to any social media site, search Jay McKenna Stories. If it's there, follow it, like it, share it. Give us the views. The views! We need the views! Anyway, I can tell by the way today's going that I will probably be on later for like a stress relief just chatting of like Insurmountable or maybe Minecraft. Minecraft would probably be more productive. So let's call that like 4 hours from now. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's do that. Next stream, 6 p.m. Hang on. Edit scene. Edit. Next stream. Tonight. 6 p.m. MST. Be there. Boop. Yeah, let's do that. So that's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes, be there or be square. I am firmly in triangle mode right now. Yeah, drums will be a hexagon. It'll be a thing. So yeah, that's like 4-ish hours from now. I will be thoroughly angry, rest assured. So either we'll go try to survive a third mountain climb, or, oh no, again, productivity. Productivity. I'll take my rage out by destroying blocks that make me nauseous while listening to a Spotify playlist. And if you want to hear the music that's playing during that stream, you will have to watch the live because it will not be in the video on demand. You want to listen to the weird ass shit that I'm always listening to when I do stuff, or that I blast in the background while Jay draws sometimes. You will have to tune in to that live stream. So that'll be like 4-ish hours from now. 3 hours and like 45 minutes from now. So in the meantime, we're all gonna go download OBS and start learning how to use it. So we will hopefully see you guys tonight, and thank you for joining us for our long-awaited part 5 of our Renpy tutorial. Have a nice 4 hours, guys. Yes, drums. Be safe. Have fun. We'll see you later.